Hey, welcome back to another episode of Donkey Kong Land. This might be the last episode, but I think I said that last time. Um, but, you know, I think it might be. We'll see. I might just play it until it's over at this point. Just because, like, there's not a whole lot left, I don't think. I don't need to do this, because I've got plenty of lives at the moment. Not if I keep doing that, though. But I haven't hit the point where, like, the hearts have, like, started to disappear, so I don't feel compelled to do that, other than just to go in and grab the bonus area. Because maybe it'll put me a little further in the level, I don't know. Keep grabbing that coin while I'm at it. There we go. Whoop. Alright, Donkey, come on now. You know, it's really, like, Donkey Kong 64 is a really fun game. I don't know why it gets the hate it gets these days. I mean, I understand it went a little crazy with its collectathon stuff, but it's a really fun and funny game. And one of the things that's really fun to me about it is the parts where you're actually doing the barrel blast. Because, I don't know, there's something about, like, oh, there's something about, like, shooting Donkey Kong out of the barrel and him, like, freaking out a little bit that's just really funny to me. Is, like, you know, they didn't really do it in, other than the, you know, the bonus barrels. I don't think they ever really did anything like this again in 2 or 3, if I remember correctly. Like, they definitely didn't do anything like this in 2 and 3. But it's just really funny to think, like, you never get the impression that, like, they're, like, flipping out about being shot out of the barrels. And then, like, the way he's, like, kind of freaking out about it, it's like, oh, I guess, you know, they kind of probably will be, like, freaking out. I jumped in that barrel. I protest that. Like, there is just something funny about it, if you think about it. The scrolling background's kind of making me a little... It's not making me nauseous, but it's kind of like messing with my depth perception a little bit. Because it's like the parallax scrolling, you know? Alright. There we go. Boing. 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 Whoop. Try that again. At this rate, I don't know if this is going to be the last episode, guys. I'm just kind of like, I think I'm just trying to rush it. I think if I get into another rant and, like, distract myself, I'll just go back into the flow state, like on that one level in one of the previous videos. I think it was the one where, like, you're in the clouds and you're riding the platforms. I just ended up, like, you know, distracting myself long enough that I just kind of was reacting and not trying to, like, pay too close attention to it, I guess. Right, Donkey? Okay, good. Watch out for the minces. Only thing they're good for is mincing garlic. They do a pretty good job at that. See, look at that. I distracted myself long enough to just play the level. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 3 levels, and then the boss. Might be able to do it in this episode, unless I get stuck. This is basically the ice Oh yeah, I forgot. If you jump from too high in this game, like, you die, even though there's clearly platform underneath. This is like the ice ropes from Donkey Kong Country, where you like jump on them and they either have you slide up or slide down. That's basically what this is. There's a similar mechanic in Donkey Kong Country 3, but you don't ride them up or down, you ride them to the right or the left, or like conveyor belt. I don't know if there's like a barrel down there. It might be death. We'll check it though. Yeah, it's death. So it's like a conveyor belt rope, but it's like, you know, right or left. Like I expressed earlier in this series, I will probably play Donkey Kong Country 3 soon, but like, whew, I thought I died there for a second. I'll probably play it soon, but like not that quickly after this, because I don't want to play too many of the same games or series or something like that. Not sure what I'm going to do next. I haven't really thought about it. Haven't really had anything jump out and scream at me about what to do. I don't know, maybe I'll try seeing if I can get Look Outside to work and play that. I don't know. I don't really know a lot about it. I saw like a stream of it, a couple streams of it, but I wasn't really like paying too close attention to the game itself. So I know there were like aspects about it that I liked, and I'm like, oh, I like this game actually. Like, this is a pretty cool looking game, and I like the themes and stuff. So, but like, as far as like, come on now, as far as like the story or what's going on, I really don't know. I couldn't tell you. I just know that like it's like a Lovecraftian kind of idea, in the sense that like some event is happening and you gotta, well, sucks that he got me literally after I destroyed the barrel. So it's like, you know, your neighbors are turning into monsters and stuff, and you've got to do a bunch of stuff. But I don't know anything beyond that. Maybe how to solve one or two puzzles from what I saw. But like I said, I was paying attention to the streamer. I wasn't really paying attention to the game or anything. And I know you might be like, well, how the hell do you watch a stream or two on a game and not like know what's really going on in it? And the answer is probably the same answer to what you may be possibly doing, and that's like, I had it on a second screen and I was doing something else alongside it, and I was just paying more attention to, you know, the streamer than I was the game, because to me it's like, this particular streamer, like, I don't really care what they play. I'm watching them for them, you know. I'm not really watching it for necessarily what they're playing. But like, mainly for like, hopefully that they're enjoying it and having a good time with it. Ooh. Nah. But yeah, so, you know, and this particular streamer, like, I don't just put on second screens, but like sometimes, like, you know, if it's a game like that where it's like there's a lot of like reading and stuff, because it is a role-playing game. Like, I suspect, like, I even did it with myself because I watched my own series back. And when I did the Pokemon series and did Ichima-san, there was a lot of reading and stuff in that. And not necessarily a whole lot of anything else going on. So it was like, you know, this is second screen material. But, yeah, I mean, and I try not to, especially if it's a game that I'm really interested in, or it's something that I'm really interested in doing, or like a stream I'm really interested in watching, I try not to treat it as, you know, something that requires a second screen of something else to entertain me. Because I was thinking about it, I think I was talking to my sister about it, about movies and video games and stuff. Like, you still find from time to time that they have like good soundtracks, but the soundtracks are clearly not as good as like they were, you know, back in the 90s and back in like the 2000s and stuff. And my diagnosis of that was that it's because of like second screen stuff, that people are just like turning on a second screen and, you know, watching a stream or something. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, don't get me wrong. I do that. I was literally just talking about it. But I feel like, you know, I think, for an example, Netflix told on themselves with this, and a lot of their series that they made, where it's like they will tell you the same information, which I was talking about Breath of the Wild, I think in the last episode. Was it this episode? I don't know. I think it was the last episode. Where it's like they'll just explain the same information over and over again, because it's like, oh, well, you're probably watching another screen, or you're probably, you know, paying attention to your phone while stuff is going on. So, because of that, we have to make it to where even someone who's just not paying attention even slightly can kind of know what's going on. But, you know, I've always kind of been of the opinion that if it's something that I really want to watch or play or do, like, I'll give it my full undivided attention, you know what I mean? But I do also understand that with a lot of editing techniques, like stuff like Cocomelon, and a lot of stuff like YouTube Shorts and TikTok, where it's like short form content that's like maybe a minute or two for the video, and it's just like, all right, I've watched, like, in the course of an hour, instead of watching one, you know, 1 hour video, I watched like 400, you know, 1 minute videos or something. Like, oh well, no, like in the course of an hour I watched like you know, 61 minute videos instead of one 60-minute video. So I feel more accomplished. I feel like I, you know, was more entertained. And it's like, you know, that's really something that's kind of a matter of perspective. But I don't like short form content myself. Like, I like sitting down and like watching something for like 20-30 minutes, or in the case of like watching a streamer that I like to watch, watching a streamer that I like to watch, or, you know, something like that. Like, I like to just sit down, you know, it's like, I don't really watch movies. I guess you can say that like streams are kind of like my movies. Especially because, I'm not going to say their name because I don't want to, it's not that I don't want to like broadcast that I watch them or anything. It's just that like, I don't want to bring their name into my content because I don't think that that would be right. You know what I mean? I don't think it would be right to mention them or something other than maybe in passing, but the fact that I'm directly talking about them, I don't want to say their name because, like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like it would be rude as, like, a small fry like myself to talk about them. But this particular streamer, and there's a lot of them that do this, so it's not really narrowing it down, is kind of known for, like, doing a lot of streams that are, like, anywhere from, like, 2 hours to, like, 15 hours. And, so, like, you know, it kind of is like my movie, you know what I mean? Alright, final boss. Watch out, it's K Rool. Well, so, like, dude, did I barely get him? Because the crown keeps you from jumping on his head. I think does he do anything else? I don't remember. I want to say it's, like, more sophisticated than this. But, I mean, it literally is, like, my own, you know, like, my entertainment would be, like, of the movie. If you're watching a 2-hour stream and you're, you know, find that more interesting or entertaining than a 2-hour movie. It's actually, like, something I was thinking about earlier about the movie industry. I don't remember how I started thinking about it. I think I read, like, a YouTube title or something like that. I don't remember, or something on like Twitter or something. I don't remember. Like, it was something about movies. You know, actually, I think I remember. Oh, there he goes. He does the little jump. Oh, he got me. I remember I was thinking about, like, studios, like, people who, and, like, records and stuff, and how, like, I think I was watching an interview from Steve Stevens, and he was talking about how he buys albums. He doesn't just buy a individual track. It's not that he doesn't like singles, but he wants to know what the band is trying to say in their music. And you get that by buying the album, finding out what the album is about, you know. Now he's gonna do the jump. He will throw the crown eventually. Oh, he got me. So it's like, you know, it was something like that, and he was saying something about, like, doing that, and for some reason I got on the tangent about record companies and how, like, it used to be super important about, like, if you were a musician and you were a band and you wanted to, like, broadcast your music to the world, you needed, like, a record company. But now it's like, you know, anybody can, like, who has, like, takes the time and effort and puts the money forward and stuff, can build, like, a pretty serviceable studio, even in an apartment. It's not ideal to do it in an apartment. Oh, he got me. It's not ideal to do it in an apartment, obviously. But, like, I mean, you could. If you're plugging stuff into, like, electrics into an interface and using that interface to record directly into the computer, then you could do that. You know, you can do guitar and bass, and if you had, like, electric drums instead of acoustic drums, you can do a drum beat. Or you can just program a drum beat or something like that. You know, like you could do it. You can even do vocals and like, he got me. I need to really pay attention to how many times like he throws it and does the jump and stuff. I think it was like 6 times, wasn't it? So that's 4, 5, 6. Ow! I was expecting him to do the jump. But, yeah, you know, I mean, it's just like, you know, same thing with like animation, you know, and Hollywood. I was thinking about like Hollywood. It's insane to think of this way, but there are some people on YouTube who put out better content and better quality videos than some of the stuff that comes out of Hollywood. And it's maybe like 1 to 4 people, you know what I mean? And so it's kind of, he's gonna do the jump, isn't he? Yeah, there he goes. Like, it's kind of crazy to think about it that way, but it's like, you know, like one of the things I've seen their stuff by watching clips of like, you know, certain VTubers reacting to it. So I haven't, you know, I'm gonna eventually drop a like and rewatch the videos and stuff, just because I think that they, you know, they do really good work. And that's the Pantsa Hat, where they're like stop motion animation and stuff, and a lot of the stuff that they come up with for their videos, like it's pretty funny. And you know, the ouch, it's pretty funny and well written, and like the stop motion is really good and stuff. And it's like, I look at it and I look at something like the Lego Movie, and like I'm kind of like, you know, the Lego Movie was like, oh, that's it. I think it's like 5 or 6 hits on the head, then he does the jump. The Lego Movie, I haven't seen Lego Batman. I haven't seen like Lego Movie 2 or whatever it's called. But the first one's pretty good. It's also got crazy editing to the point where like, it's one of those things where it's like, once you start noticing it, it's kind of hard not to notice it. Like, there are a lot of YouTube channels who have the format of the person just sitting in the chair with a microphone, and like they're talking about whatever it is they're talking about in a very like, very calm, like monotone voice, kind of like this, and they're expressing like whatever it is they're expressing. And that's fine. I'm not saying anything negative against that. I'm not trying to like rag on them or anything. Is he gonna, okay, I was gonna say, he's gonna do the jumps again. So if I miss the crown, he doesn't do the jump, he just runs. But I bring that up because like, if you pay attention to it, it's like they do like an edit every like 5 or 10 seconds where the like the camera, there's a pretty obvious cut. And I don't know if that's like necessarily intentional, or if that's like, you know, they're not, you know, as eloquent a speaker or something like that. And like, so it's like, okay, let me do another take. And let me edit all the takes together, and inevitably he's gonna jump, and inevitably it's gonna be obvious that there are takes. You know what I mean? And that things are edited together. But like, there's also an obvious technique that was like kind of brought to my attention because of the Coco Melon stuff. And that's like the fact that like, okay, he's got to be close, right? And that's like the fact that like Coco Melon literally, you know, does. And I don't watch Coco Melon. I remember watching somebody else talk about it. Okay, there we go. Anyway, I got you that one time. That's the only try that really counts. Congratulations. So it's like, you know, that's one of the things about Coco Melon is that it's like, oh, it's like hyper addictive for like toddlers because they use a lot of bright colors and effects and stuff like that, and they like every 10 seconds will make an obvious cut to something else, and they just like, if you pay attention to the cuts, it's like all the time. And I think if I remember correctly, it was like compared to like blinking. And then when you blink, not only does it like hydrate your eyes, but it also reshifts your focus. So like if you're having a hard time focusing, if you just sit and blink over and over and over again really rapidly for like, you know, 20 seconds, it can like reset your focus and get you like focused better. So it kind of works like that, and it keeps like readjusting your attention span to that video. And I don't know if like the reason there's so many cuts is it's because like they went on a tangent that was unrelated and they just kind of cut it out, or they went on like, they said something, they were like, oh, maybe I shouldn't like put that in there, or maybe this doesn't work, or, you know, maybe it was another take or something like that. I really don't know, but like I see it a lot, and it's one of those things that once you like see it and once you like are aware of it, it's hard to unsee it. So when I see people doing that, it's like, okay, is it just there's so many takes because, you know, maybe they fumbled what they were saying, or is it because like they're doing the whole strategy of refresh? Because, you know, this is something that happens on YouTube and on different content creation platforms, especially the people who are trying to get monetized, where if you pay attention to a lot of their content, it's not very distinguishable from another 5 or 6 different accounts, because they're all, you know, trying to act the same. You know, their thumbnails are relatively the same. A lot of the stuff that they're doing is kind of the same. And, you know, I'm not trying to be disparaging if they, you know, I get where it's coming from. But maybe I just don't understand it because like I have no intention or desire to be monetized. I kind of do this as a hobby for my own enjoyment, and also for the enjoyment of anybody who wants to watch it and finds enjoyment out of it. You know, that's one of the reasons why I never say, you know, hey, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, because it's like, you know, if you liked it enough to do it, I kind of suspect that you would just do it. You know, I don't need to remind you of that. But I guess I'll leave that there. If you feel differently about it and you want to express it in the comments, feel free to do so. Just don't be disrespectful about it. Just, you know, be respectful with it. If anybody else chimes in and tries to be disrespectful, like, don't meet disrespect with disrespect. That's never leads to like proper discourse, and it never leads to like anyone doing anything other than just like it turning into a shouting match. But I'll leave it there. That's it for Donkey Kong Land. I don't know when I'm gonna do Donkey Kong Land 2. It might be next year, who knows. We'll see. But if you watch the video, I appreciate it. If you made it to this point in the video, I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.